Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? It's Big Nard. Hey, just another test video. You're liking it. Things are getting better, making improvements. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it a little different because the last video was like an hour, 50 minutes. That time went fast, but I'm kind of shorten it down. So I'm calling it Auto War Nuggets. Remember, this is me testing. So what happens is it gives me a chance to streamline everything. But in the gist of it, in the testing, it's making me, perfect the setup, get things better, and that's the goal. So this book reading is me testing, but it's a book reading. I like doing it now because it's actually fun. So we're going to be doing this book reading continuously. I'm going to be doing it, but I'm going to break them down into nuggets. So I'm going to basically run it for about a half an hour. That's my goal. My goal is about a half an hour. So roughly within that range, we'll get them down to a half an hour. We'll call them nuggets. Then we maybe even break them down to smaller parts, and then maybe just do a bunch of nuggets. And then this way, it's easier to consume and digest, and it keeps me cranking. So what I'm gonna do for this, because just set this one up. I got these little cubes here. These things are cool. I'm gonna fire this cube up for 30 minutes, and that's gonna be my cue, right? So when this goes off, or if it goes off before, so be it. But when that goes off, this is what I'm doing for now until I come up with another solution. I was just like running over, thinking what I could do to make it better, and I believe that me doing that, dropping it to 30 minutes, and then keeping it like a consistent 30 minutes, it'll be better because I didn't realize it. Like that 2 hours went fast. So this way, when it's a 2-hour video, right? So let me know what you think. Drop some comments. Let me go ahead and pull out the banners because I got the app working pretty good. So let's see. Here we go. So Sun Tzu. Oh, did I change it? Did I put the nuggets? Okay, so Sun Tzu Auto War. I didn't update that, but it's basically Auto War Nuggets. We're gonna call them nuggets, and so we're gonna begin now, just to get right to the point. And give me a second. All right, so let's So what happens where we left off is we finished chapter 2, and now we're on chapter 3, and that's on page 66. This is the actual book that I have right here. So I put it on the screen now instead of me holding it up like this, but I'm still gonna do that because that was fun. Shambhala Dragon Edition. Actually, I can't find it. So this is like a classic book right here. I went on Amazon just to try to look for that book cover, and so it looks like this book is hard to get. And it's a really good book. And I gotta, just to throw this out, like I bought these a long time ago. So, but I didn't realize I have another one too, man. This one is obviously the same Shambhala edition. This one is called Mastering the Art of War. So this one is available, but this one here, like was the original one. I haven't seen it. Like you could buy it online, but I'm saying it's not readily available at all. Okay, I don't think on Amazon. It's not on Amazon. So that's the gist. All right, so let us begin. First of all, I want to say welcome to everybody that's here. And let's begin. All right, so I'm gonna go right into chapter 1. So we'll start with the first quote. Let me see if I'm doing that right. Oh, okay, I think I switched. All right, and this is why we're testing. So I gotta keep this. I gotta keep this on. Gotta keep this on point. All right, so we're in chapter 3, which is called Planning a Siege. And like because of this, like there's a couple of things that I found out doing a little more research into the art of war. And one of the things is a siege is like the last resort. So just as an FYI, planning a siege and stuff like this is considered a last resort, but this is still necessary. All right, so let us begin. And oh, you know what? This Big Nard thing. Let me see. Let me try to move that. How do I get rid of that? Can you guys? I don't know. Hold on. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to check on YouTube, man. See if you could see that. Let me see. I don't know if you could see that. So give me 1 second. Like I said, this is a test, so you gotta bear with me. the purpose of this is a test. So let me see. Man, it's like as soon as I pick up this phone, everything started things going off. And yeah, so remember I had a problem last time finding a live, so we're gonna try to see. Here we go. All right, boom, got it quicker now. No, that says chapter. Huh? But is that me right now? This thing says live, but I don't see it moving. Okay, there we go. Okay. So it does say Big Nod on there. So I don't know how to remove that because that's actually blocking some of the and I saw that earlier. Let me see if there's a way I could just remove that. Let me see. Maybe it's in settings. Or if I can, maybe I can move it to the other side. Let me see layouts. Now, right now, again, I'm just trying to figure this out. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm not gonna. But this is the point of me testing. So when I'm done, then everything else is gonna be pretty smooth going forward. But right now, I'm just like I said, I'm doing this to learn. So we're gonna do some reading, get some knowledge on general. I was gonna say on Sun Tzu, General Sun Tzu, and like I said, it's a really, really good book. So for those of you who were here for the past readings and testing, hey man, welcome back. Give me 1 second. I just want to see if there's okay. Oh, I can turn that off. All right, perfect. I wonder if they could let me put it on the other side. Let me see. Yes, I don't. Yeah. So they don't. Right now, I don't know how to do that. So we're just gonna leave it at this, so we don't waste time. We can get to reading. Oh, they got music too. I didn't even know that. Okay. So like I said, I'm still learning. So let me not digress. All right. So here we go. All right. So the first one in chapter 3, planning a siege. Master Sun says the general rule for use of military is that it is better to keep a nation intact than to destroy it. It is better to keep an army intact than to destroy it. It is better to keep a division intact than to destroy it. It is better to keep a battalion intact than to destroy it. It is better to keep a unit intact than to destroy it. So, and he puts it in everything I've realized, he puts it in order specifically. So the first thing would be is to protect to keep the nation intact. But if not, then you want to just keep going down the line. Now, this one is to me, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you're gonna go siege or conquer or take over anything, which is everywhere, right? Except like even let's just look at the United States, right? So colonialism came in and like the United States is basically European occupied country, and the indigenous people here they kept them intact for the most part, right? I don't know the numbers on like the Indian. I'm gonna say Indian, but I'm gonna say Native Americans. Whatever is the proper term, because I'm just out of ignorance, I don't know, but I'm just gonna say Native American population or indigenous people that were here. From that perspective, they're still intact, somewhat on reservations and stuff like that. So they're still living and have not been totally, wiped out. But I guess this is an example where, they did. I don't know if you said that you kept the nation intact because I don't. Yeah, so that part, but you kept something intact. that's the gist of it. So you kept something that some things intact. But that's an example in regards to occupying territory. So that's my take on it. So it's better to keep everything. I guess it's easier to integrate and manage conquered people. Actually, just if you think of slavery, right? Slaves are still here, integrated into society, right? That's another example. So, and so and it was still integrated into the population. So when you think of that, so my ancestors, slave, and I have some European ancestors as well as ancestors that were slaves. So when you look at that from that aspect, it's a good example of like conquering, and you still have the people here functioning in society that was actually conquered or taken over. So that's what he means. So that we're actually in the actual seas situation currently. So Cao, we continue now reading. For those that don't know, General Sun Tzu, he says a comment, what I just read, and then I'm making a comment in this part. But then you have the other generals of that time. And I did find out, let me add that because I kept, let me just take a quick look just from the information, because I looked up to see what era it was, because I kept saying thousands of years ago, but I didn't know what year. And I know it's like 544 BC. So Sun Tzu was around 544 to 469 BC. And that's like the before Christ era. But what happens is, and it goes backwards, right? So it goes from 540 to 0. So 544 to 496 is basically I guess he died 52 years old. No, it's backwards. Yeah, so no go. So he's 48. So he died 40. So he was 48 when he died, basically. But the era that this is written in is 544 to 496 BC, which is, like I said, it goes backwards to 0. Then we come back. So it's over 2,000 years ago that this was written. I just wanted to throw that in there because in the other videos, I just kept saying thousands of years ago, which I couldn't remember. So I actually looked it up just to make it a little easier. So anyway, so my take on it is, this is an example of where we're living at now, the United States, right? So Cacao says, if you raise an army and penetrate deeply into your opponent's territory, keeping on the move, blocking the space between the inner stronghold and the outer city walls, cutting off communications between inside and outside. Then, if the opponent surrenders completely, that is best. If you attack destructively and take a nation by force, that is a lesser accomplishment. So according to Cao, the bigger accomplishment is to take an attack, which that's a more advanced, more skilled way of victory. Then I guess there's levels to victory, right? Like you could win, but if you destroy everything, it's kind of a loss. So they're saying that the ultimate mastery is to take the nation intact, which becomes becomes a gain for the conqueror, right? So then we got Jia Lin. So now I'm gonna move back to the mic too. So we got Jia Lin, and so Jia Lin says, if you can keep the opponent's nation intact, then your own nation will also be intact. So this is the best. And so like that's what, when we look at it, this was deployed by the colonization. So Lee Kwan says, this means that killing is not the important thing. Now, do you? That's my man. Every time, man. Do you? Do you says, it is best if an enemy nation comes and surrenders of its own accord. To attack and defeat it is inferior to this. Then Ho Yang says, the best policy to use strategy. The best policy is to, the best policy is to use strategy, influence, and the trend of events to cause the adversary to submit willingly. So Zhang Yu says, he quoted a statement by Wei Liaozi. Obviously my Chinese is like terrible, but I'm pronouncing it as best as possible. Practicing martial arts, assess your opponents, cause them to lose spirit and direction, so that even if the opposing army is intact, it is useless. This is winning by the Tao. If you destroy the opposing army and kill the generals, mount the ramparts shooting, gather a mob, and you usurp the land, this is winning by force. Zhang Yu then explains, so winning by the way, the Dao, I don't know if it's a Dao, but winning by the Dao and winning by force means the same as keeping a nation intact and destroying a nation. Treating the people mercifully while punishing criminals. Gaining complete victory with the country intact is the best. And then Wang Ji says, nation, army, division, battalion, unit, great or small, keep it intact, and your dignity will be improved thereby. Destroy it, and your dignity will suffer. All right, cool. So let's go on to the next one. So this is Master Su. He says, therefore, those who win every battle are not really skillful. Those who render others' army helpless without fighting are the best of all. That right there, that says everything. So because you win every battle doesn't mean that you're skillful. The best way is to win, is to render other armies helpless without even fighting. And that's like I said, my Bruce Lee's my man. Fighting without fighting, the art of fighting without fighting is the best. That's the best victory. Like nobody gets hurt. So any fight, regardless if you could win or not, you're gonna take some type of damage, punishment. So just no damage is better than damage. So if you can win without fighting, then that's the biggest win of all. And they're basically just turning that into the same thing. So Cao says the very best victory is when the opponent surrenders of its own accord before there are any actual hostilities. Li Quan, so overcome your opponent by calculation. Chen Hao says when you do battle, it is necessary to kill people. So it is best to win without fighting. Yeah, that goes in. You're going to get hurt. Like you're going to have to kill people and everything. You're going to lose people. So the best thing is if you don't have to fight, then, all families are happy on both sides, right? So I think that's pretty cool. Jia Lin says, best of all is when your troops are held in such awe that everyone comes to surrender. This is preferable to winning by trickery, violence, and slaughter. Mayo Yochin says this is a matter of disliking to inflict injury. And so we got Zhang Yu. He says if you can only prevail after doing battle, there will surely be many casualties. So this is not good. If you make it clear what is to be rewarded and what punished, make your directives reliable. Keep your machines in good repair. Train and exercise your officers and troops, and let their strengths be known so as to overcome the opponent psychologically. This is considered very good. Yeah, man. So, so the psychological advances, like you're beating them in the mind. So the best war is defeated mentally. Well, I'm not going to even go that route. You don't even want to. You don't want to go that route. Well, you don't want. I guess you got to go that route. You got to defeat them somewhere. So the best way is to defeat them mentally than to cause physical or damage, life, death situations, right? So Wang Zi says in military operations, what is valued is foiling the opponent's strategy, not pitched battle. And then Ho Yangzi says, which is related to this story, he says when Wang Po of the latter Han dynasty struck Chu Qin and Su Mo, he returned to camp after battle. His enemies regrouped and tried to provoke another skirmish, but Wang Po refused to come out. As Wang Po was having a dinner party with his officers, Su Mo's men showered the camp with a rain of arrows. One of them even struck the wine keg in front of Wang Po. Wang Po, however, sat there calmly, not stirring even a bit. So my man, just to throw it in, he's sitting down. They're out there trying to like take him, but he goes, you know what? That's some balls, man. He goes, y'all having a dinner party. You ain't gonna interrupt my dinner party. So they shooting down arrows. A flaming arrow hits the thing right in front of him. He's like, oh, he roasted marshmallows. He basically pulled out marshmallows on a stick and made s'mores with the burning arrow. That's how that right there is official. That's my man. And then so to get back into this, so at that point, an officer remarked that Sumo was already at the end of his rope and would be easy to strike. Wang Po refused, saying Sumo's mercenaries are from far away and they are short on supplies. That is why they are trying to pick a winner, take all fight. Yeah, so this dude is on. He goes, if I close off my camp and keep my soldiers in, this is what is called the best of all. Damn, that's gangster. Wow, man, I like that story. It's kind of crazy because it's like it almost sounds like a punk story, but in the end, it's like this dude is beyond that, like next level. So he said he recognized that their mercenaries were from far away, and then therefore they are short on supplies. That goes back to the whole logistics, the assessments, the logistics. So this book is good, man. So they're taking all that into consideration, and he says that's why they're trying to pick a winner take all fight. So these dudes, so he even understands that they're at the point to fight to the death, because right now they have nothing to lose, right? They're out of supplies. They're in a desperate situation. So he's just saying, hey, listen, why am I going to send my troops out there to fight a bunch of dudes who are just trying to do a winner take all? That's like when you watching, I like boxing, man. So when you're watching boxing, dudes are always losing. And then what happens is, but he got a knockout punch, then that's what he's going to try to do. He's going to start trying to swing because he goes, I got no other win but to try to knock this person out. So now you start seeing him trying to throw like super hard punches, which exhaust you even more, mind you. But that's when you see those dudes try to take those super knockout punches, man. My man Deontay Wilder, man. No, but Deontay Wilder, I like Deontay Wilder, man. That's my man. So, but when he was fighting, what's my man? He was boxing. He was the boogeyman in the division. What's his name, man? I'm just drawing a blank right now. But anyway, he was getting beat the whole fight, and then he just caught him and knocked him straight out. But Deontay Wilder is on a different level, man, in regards to strength and athleticism, so to speak. But that's an example. So my man Deontay Wilder, he had that one punch knockout power, and then at one point I just have to hit you once. So these guys, they have nothing to lose. That's like there was the story. I can't remember when they took all the ships. The troops came. I can't remember the story. So if you know it, throw it in the chat. But so what happened is the general, what the general did was took all the troops and he burned. They came to shore, and he says we have to win this. So what he did is he burned all of the ships. He says, so now it's either we're gonna fight and win, or we're all gonna die here. And then obviously, they had that's the same mentality. So now they're fighting to get back to their families. So that the morale that they have in order to survive is the winner takes all. So he knew that and said, listen, I'm not going to send my troops out there to fight a bunch of people who are just trying to do a one last ditch for survival. Just let them fade out, and they're going to surrender. So this is probably why he brought it up in that, in the point of talking about surrendering. So we'll go to the next one. So Master Sun says, therefore, the superior militarist strikes while schemes are being laid. Oh, I forgot to move it forward. Here we go. Strikes while schemes are being laid. And then so Cacao says, when the opponent is just beginning to plan its strategy, it's easy to strike. Yeah, so that's pretty. Oh, I forgot to throw my commentary, man. Sorry about that. Yeah. So you strike while they're planning. So they never have a plan. So if you strike before they come up with a plan, that's the best, right? Because if they develop a plan, then it's going to be problematic for you. So that goes into always being prepared, right? So those who stay prepared don't have to get prepared. And for these who are those who are trying to, plan and make schemes, you could thwart their whole entire operation. All right, so Cacao saying, when the opponent is just beginning to plan a strategy, it is easy to strike. And my man, he go do you again. Just when the opponent is setting up a plan to mobilize its forces, if your army strikes and suppresses them, that is best. Therefore, one of the great warrior emperors said, those who are good at getting rid of trouble are those who take care of it before it arises. Those who are good at overcoming opponents are those who win before there is form. I like that, man. So my Yochin, this means winning by intelligence. So Yang Ji says it's best to thwart people by intelligent planning. So Yo Yang Ji says, when the enemy begins to plot an attack against you, you first attack them. This is easy. Figure out the direction of the enemy's plans and deploy your forces accordingly, attacking at the outset of their intentions. Now this is funny, man. So I had a friend. So today, a friend called me, said he just got terminated from his job. Now I knew the guy. So from a while back, he was giving me like scenarios of what was happening at the job, and I was like, man, they're already planning on terminating you. You do know that. He didn't believe it, but I'm not gonna say he didn't believe it. I explained it enough, but I said, listen, you're most likely they're already trying to get rid of you, but it's not an opportune time for them to let you go. So I said, you need to plan your finances and create an exit strategy so you leave on your terms. This way, if they do happen to, either you leave when you're ready, and if they do let you go, it's not one of those situations where you're like shocked, because that's what happens to a lot of people. So I'm an infrastructure engineer. So, when the terminations come, I'm the one that has to disable all the accounts and then make sure that everything is security aspects, all of the security aspects are locked down. Anything doesn't work, everything. Accounts are all locked. Any access, biometric access, everything is done. So I shut all that down while HR is talking to you. So normally the person doesn't know. When you're going into the office to talk to HR, they're making it as if it's a regular conversation. Hey, we want to talk to you. And then at that time, when they go, everything is shut down. And then so you have your computers and laptops, everything's locked out. And but what happens a lot of times, they don't see it. And it's because I get the notice prior, right? So they say, hey, listen, these are the terminations we're gonna have. So I know who's being terminated. And so sometimes, some people, because they know I'm, but I can't say nothing. So it's just part of the process, man. So I will never tell you, even if I know you, that you're getting terminated, because I can't, right? It's all part of the thing. It's nothing personal. It's just that's the way it is with the whole situation. But a lot of people, they don't even like read the signs. And so basically the office or your job is actually doing exactly this. They're you don't even really realize it's happening. And so it's weird, man. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I took a pause because I was just trying to think of when I was saying the story, man. It's just it's crazy. But that's what happens, man. While schemes are being laid, man, they just you don't even know. But anyway, my friend said it, and I just said, hey, listen, you should have prepared, because they were actually scheming against you the whole time. Like if you just listen to the words, the language, pay attention to the environment. That's why I said this book covers like exactly that. Pay attention to the lay of the land. Pay attention to the environment. You gotta, some people just think that things are never going to change, but things change. Some for the better, some for the worse. So you have to be prepared. In either way. So let me finish this up. So when the opponent is just beginning to plan a strategy, it's easy to strike. So I like what you said, though. Those who are good at getting rid of the troubles are those who take care of it before it arises. Those who are good at overcoming opponents are those who win before they respond. So Mao Yochin says this means winning by intelligence. No, I went through this. Yang Wang Zi says it is best to thwart people by intelligent planning. Yo Yang Zi says when the enemy begins to plot an attack against you, you first attack them. This is easy. Figure out the direction of the enemy's plan and deploy your forces accordingly, attacking at the outset of their intentions. Yang Zhu says that some say that what Master Sun was saying here was that the best military operation is to attack strategically, meaning to use unusual tactics and secret calculations to seize victory without even battling. So what happens is I'm looking at the time. Oh, wow, it's actually after 3. So I'm looking at the time. So we're gonna cut this down. So we're on page. Oh, I forgot to move it anyway. But we're on page 69, and then there's one. Yeah, so this is the next one, and I'll start another one with page 69. In fact, because I'm running, what I'll do is I'm gonna stop this session, then I'll start the next one. But I want to keep them. As nuggets, like 30 minutes or so. This way it's not just too long. And then you could just break it down. You could digest it easily. All right. So first of all, thanks everybody for watching. This was part of the my testing. I was doing like a lot of long talking. So let me know if long form is better than short form. Do you like the 30-minute the idea of doing them in 30-minute chunks? To make them easily digestible, just let me know. Like I said, I'm trying to figure it out. It's my first experience of doing any broadcasting. Again, I'm moving up from the mic. I don't know how it sounds, but that's the gist. All right. So listen, I appreciate you. Wish the best for everybody. Right now, and where I'm at is 2:03 a.m. And so good morning, good night, good afternoon, good evening to everybody around the world. I'll see you next time. All right. So I'm signing off. Have a great one. Take care.